We're live.
And we are VWP. Give me 1 second.
He needs 1 second, folks. So till then, you're either going to have dead silence or you're going to have to put up with me.
I forgot different scenarios. I forgot like I've medicine stuff. But we are live and we are VWP. As always, it's Tuesday. We're a little earlier tonight than usual for Tuesdays. A lot of extenuating circumstances happening with the VWP family. Um, and Metal Matt will be here. It's going to be later, like way later. But he'll be here later. As always, I'm Mox, joined by the greatest, the soon to be she's coming for it 24/7 champion, Ambrose Alley.
Hello, everybody.
And as soon as she wins it, I know who's gunning for her, and that would be Mr. Adam Rice.
Gotta watch your back once you win that belt.
Bring it.
It's gonna
Um,
take me a while to get out there, so if you could just stay in one place, that'd be great.
Don't move. I'll be there in 4 days. Do not move.
I'll
Now he can make
drive.
it in
Yeah.
two. He can make it in two.
Uh, I
If
know
I
what kind
sleep,
of car he drives.
if I sleep on the side of the road,
Wait a minute. Are you breaking news right here now? You already don't do that?
we can get into that later.
How was everybody's week?
Weekend was good. Went and saw John Wick 3.
Worst movie of all time.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, I was thinking of that whatever HBO show that is.
You were you confused the Game of Thrones with John Wick.
No, no, yeah. For one, guys, I'm on a different headset. I'll go ahead and preempt the how my son's in the hospital and stuff, and so I'm working on he's got like all my technology stuff to make it a more pleasant experience, and so I'm working on like old stuff. So forgive me for if I'm not coming through clear, or if I keep having to readjust, trying to hear you guys and stuff. But um, no, I didn't literally confuse John Wick 3 with Game of Thrones. Just had to give you a hard time. You like something, so of course I have to hate it right off the bat. That's just how this
Of course.
relationship works.
Yes, I know. But yeah, saw that. It's a good movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. But of course, if you haven't seen the previous two movies, see those first.
I don't even know what a movie is anymore.
It's that thing that comes on a little wheel that has like film on it, and then you need a projector to for the black and white movies that I know you watch.
Oh, those things that
The moving
like
pictures.
they're silent and
Yeah,
they're oh, I know what that is. Yeah, I've been there.
Charlie Chaplin's big star.
I thought you were about to go Charlie Caruso for
What?
I I, I because you're Rice
Okay.
and just because AA what about your week?
Yeah, my week is I'm here. The week was there. I'm just here.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
Please guys keep sending best wishes and positive vibes. Not just to AA, but to AA's dad. Everything is appreciated, and I know they're both appreciative. of it. Keep sending those thoughts their way. They're they're needing it. So
And shall we dive in to our topics?
Let's dive in. No
are we
matter
going
how
head first,
shallow the pool is.
cannonball? What are we? Well,
Belly flop.
you watched. I know you didn't get to the show, but you watched Rocky Mountain Pro on Twitch.
Yes, it was another awesome show. I enjoyed it immensely.
I know this is usually a Wednesday conversation, but um, unfortunately, I couldn't watch this week, so I have no idea what had happened. Was and dead air.
Well, what happened?
We were waiting for you to finish telling us what happened.
Would you guys know? And I feel like if I keep bringing it up, I'm just bringing it up just to bring it up.
Well, what happened? It was an awesome show. Chongo won again. Chongo's gonna kill you.
Chongo's gonna kill you.
Filter walked out on his team in the 6-man tag.
I did see that tweet. That was okay. Like can't wait to see where they're gonna go with that story.
So, as I said, it was a good match. It was a good show.
And I noticed the past week two names, one male, and forgive me guys, I'm literally fumes and about to be on even more fumes. The MPWA, the Wrestling Academy for Rocky Mountain Pro, has signed two new names. I again the names. One male, and actually they have a new female student. That just this past weekend they announced as full time students to the academy, which best of luck. And if you guys know Mercury Yaden, he doesn't take just anybody. So,
No,
and he's a great
they have
teacher. So,
they they have to go through a heck of a tryout before he'll even take them.
yeah. So, I'm sure we'll hear them definitely in Rocky Mountain Pro proper. But if not, they're getting trained by. I mean, Rocky Mountain Pro is just overflowing with trainers, talents, teachers, mentors, that kind of stuff. So we'll be hearing their names shortly. And forgive me again. And again, this is kind of usually a Wednesday conversation, so I was ill prepared. But they did sign two new students to the academy. So Mercury Aiden growing the business.
Yep, they even got themselves a new step van to haul their stuff in, so they don't have to mess with that truck that kept breaking down on them. They're moving up in the world.
Moving on up.
To the side.
What I love, and I'm just gonna say this, um, because Jaden takes pictures with all the new class members, but it's not like a Triple H one-on-one new signing photo. It's literally Mercury with a new signee with all the other all the other people in the academy around, like in the ring. Just they're front and center. Don't get me wrong, but then there's like where he's not excluding anybody, or they're not excluding. Like here's our upcoming talent. Here's who we're training. It's not like, hey, we got so and so, and that being that. It's here's our newcomer, and by the way, here's everybody else we're bringing through the ropes, for lack of a better term, teaching the ropes. Uh, so, um, yeah, we'll dive into that more tomorrow, and I'll get names and stuff. Hopefully, Rice. What did you want to dive into?
Um. Well, since I know we're in this weird spot with time and everything, um, I figure we
And this is all
let's
my fault, and I apologize to our
know
friends and
there
you guys.
there's no apologies necessary here, so I don't want to hear it. Um, let's first start with something that we have yet to cover for a couple weeks, and I know Matt will be kind of upset, but
Oh,
um, um,
I
both
like taking Matt off, so yeah, I'm good with it.
um, Major League Wrestling. I've watched the last 2 weeks because I just needed something to add into my. I have been kind of tuned out on the main product. If you guys catch my drift, so
Main product is would that be Leva Sassoon? Are we talking about hair products? What kind of
stop
main?
it. WWE, stop it. Stop it.
Ah,
You knew what I meant. You suck.
He's talking about walking with Elias.
Oh God, that man does have luscious hair. I will say.
see, it correlates. See,
So over the course of the last 2 weeks on MLW, we've been seeing the developments of Promociones. Oh my God, I just forgot the second part. Promociones. Don't leave me here to die.
oh nope, you have walked you have walked that bridge yourself, sir. I hear you typing. You're googling as fast as you can.
I'm the worst, and
Google.
I know I'm the
Google.
worst for doing this too. Okay.
What do we do in the days without Google?
We had
It was
things
called the
like,
encyclopedia.
well, we had
and,
things.
and misinformation.
Well, the thing is, what we had was we all had better memories.
I did for sure. Like my memory.
Promociones, Promociones Dorado. Why am I
Look,
saying?
look at you. Look at you figuring out all on your own.
Yeah, I didn't even need to Google because it just popped in my head. So, Promociones Dorado in their ongoing war with the Southern Psychopath, Mance Warner and Sammy Callahan.
How
In
do you spell
the
his name, sir? How do you spell his name?
CALLIHAN.
Callihan.
I'm an idiot. Um,
This goes back to an inside joke of
yes.
he forgets the I and puts three A's in Callahan.
An H and just, yeah. Uh, last week, the last week, well, 2 weeks ago actually now, the show opened 2 weeks ago with a great opener between AR Fox and Ray Phoenix. Went
Absolutely.
15 minutes. It was a little sloppy, but that's due to
Yeah.
some of the experience difference. Um, but in the end, AR Fox pulled what I would consider a major upset, beating Ray Phoenix. Um, so that's a major, mark in the kid's favor, and we'll see where he goes from here. What I really enjoy about MLW that it's really staking a claim to lucha libre in the United States.
Oh yeah. It's doing two things at once. Actually, it's doing three. If it's giving us um, the claim of lucha libre in the United States. Let's just go ahead and lucha underground is it's not, but let's just go ahead and say it's defunct, which makes me so sad. Even then, they I don't. Here's a question. Just as talking and a question comes up in my head. Has MLW already surpassed Lucha Underground as far as I don't want to say viewers, but now the first excluding the first two seasons of Lucha Underground because that's all anybody wanted to talk about, or even include them, but wait it in a process. Um, Even then, Lucha Underground literally was oh good lord, I'm going to ask a Buckeye grad to help me out with wording. What am I trying to
Typical
say here,
Longhorns not knowing what they're doing.
sir? But like it's more widespread or more
Lucha Underground
uh,
always felt very niche, whereas
yes,
MLW, although it's still on a smaller channel. I don't know what the distribution between El Rey Network and BN Sports is, in terms of households, but
right.
Lucha Underground always had an art house film aesthetic to it.
Lucha Underground made no bones about they were a TV soap opera sh- show
It
that
was a
happened to
telenovela,
include wrestling.
right? It was a telenovela.
There you
It
go.
was a it was a Spanish soap opera, a Mexican soap opera. That's what they were going for. And MLW feels like a wrestling show, wanting to be a wrestling show.
But real quick before I forget it, because Lord knows I can all of a sudden only think in 30-second spans.
We know.
MLW is giving us three worlds. They're giving us lucha libre wrestling. They're giving us hardcore wrestling, and they're just giving us wrestling, all combined in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there is sports entertainment there to be sure, but because they only have an hour, they always want to make sure to get three matches in of differing kind of styles and of some degree, and they want to make sure they're advancing story. They're doing so much with the time they have, whereas WWE does so little with all the time they have.
Well, that's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yes, of course. They're having to do what they have to do because they only have an hour.
NXT is quote unquote so great because it's an hour. I mean
Right.
that's just how it works. And WWE, or let's just stick to Raw. Raw is quote unquote so bad because they have
3 hours.
3 hours to fill.
If they could structure that 3 hours better and still put out
Oh,
the kind of show
and
MLW is putting out.
yeah, don't um I may have worded that wrong, but yeah, but it's still could MLW fill out a 3 hour show? Could NXT fill out a
No, NXT could because they have such a dearth of talent. that is
but
sitting off television that they could use.
I was about to say if they do even if they do an NXT 2 hour show, which has been a talking point for a couple of years now, you're gonna have people even against each other of who?
Well, yeah, which is also kind of WWE's issue at the current time, but that's another topic that we've obviously already discussed. Um, but so AR Fox gets a win over Ray Phoenix, and we cut to the back. And to open the show 2 weeks ago, we had Sammy Callahan trying to break into the building with a butter knife. I'm not making that up. He had a butter knife,
Yes.
and he was trying to break into the building. He does, gets in, he jumps. Um, I forget the guy's name. I don't know why I'm having this problem. One of
It's
Selena did.
contagious. It's contagious.
Um, one of Promociones members whose name is not involved La Parca or La Park, LA Park. Um, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. I'm just am. That's my fault. Sammy Callahan jumps the guy, punches him down a couple times, takes his phone, runs off. Yeah, Sammy Callahan has also threatened apparently a cameraman to keep following him, which ended up being some of the best parts of the show because Sammy kept. You never see this guy's face, and he goes, kid keeps going. I swear, I'll punch you. I'll punch you if you don't keep coming. And
He
so,
knew before anybody else that there's going to be a 24/7 title,
yeah,
and he wanted to make sure there was a camera around.
he's just prepared. Um,
Hey, going back to our very first episode, where Sammy was real high on your list of when we did our top 10. Where's Sammy Callahan with you now?
He's still high in the top 10.
Okay, so he or is he still top five? I want to say he was like third or something.
With me, Callahan was
Di-
number 2.
okay, no, I was close enough. I know Dean was first. Um, Sammy was second,
Yep.
and he's still up there with you.
Yep, he is.
Sammy's
Okay.
not my cup of tea, but he can be entertaining. Um, he just doesn't. He's hit or miss with me some nights. But these last couple weeks, he's been fine by me. So we go through that opener. We come back, and now with Sammy having the henchman's cell phone, he calls Selena De La Renta.
Oh, where's Matt when you need him?
I'm not going to do it either because I can't. Um, they basically have a back and forth, and he basically said, Selena, you were in my business, you know, and now we have a problem. You should have stayed out. You took something from me, and now I'm coming after you. And she basically cusses him out in Spanish. Um, this
Which is
episode
the best
also
way to cut somebody out?
in
I'm
Spanish
sorry,
because
just giving somebody the the talking to in Spanish. Just
nothing encapsulates pure hatred like cussing somebody out in Spanish.
it's just
I
it gives me, regardless of
it's
how much I hard eyes, like just something about getting talked down to in like yeah, that's it might be like my Houston upbringing and hearing it and like having to
mhm.
um what'd your mom just tell you? like like
She's
oh damn, she went in.
she wasn't happy. No, she just wanted me to do the dishes. Uh, it, so they hang up, and then the next match we got, they actually was it was one of the featured matches of the night. They kept promoting it. It was Barrington Hughes versus Jacob Fatu. Now coming
Ah,
into this, now coming into this match 2 weeks ago, Barrington Hughes was undefeated. And also coming into this match, they were building Jacob Fatu up to be a monster in the making. Um, bell ring. Barrington Hughes comes out first, and I've said this about Barrington Hughes in private to Mox, but I'll say it on public just so I'm um, open and honest. I'm fine with heavy guys in wrestling, but there's a limit, and Barrington Hughes is past the limit.
Yeah, and in that same private conversation, I agreed with you. Size is one thing, and I don't remember our exact conversation, but we were basically in agreement of Barrington Hughes is and I'm going to paraphrase some of our conversation for those that don't know. Rice and I talk a lot on the weekends for like hours on end. But I think somewhere in there it was, and this is going to sound callous since this just literally happened last week, but to a much smaller guy with Silver King. It's like a heart attack or something waiting to happen.
If I were, I mean, when we are talking about the health of wrestlers, we can't only be talking about CTE. It has
Yeah.
to be overall health. I understand there were heavy guys like Mabel and um,
I mean, even going to the heavier than that. I mean, you had your Andre the Giants, you had your Big Bam Bigelows, you had your Vaders, you had um Mabel's probably the Mabel Viscera. Uh, but there's a point where the promoter like
but the difference,
what's the kind of physical I doubt there's any
there,
when it
there probably is, and you brought up a couple guys there, and I just also want to point out Andre was different because he was also 7 feet, and his body was just different.
well, yeah, and that was a bad example on my part, but
Vader, super heavyweight, but also NFL caliber athlete.
yes.
Different.
But just to bring a guy out just because he's ginormous, um,
It feels sideshow and carny to me.
which it is. That's what. But at the same time, like surely somewhere somebody has to be thinking. And I feel the same, not quite the same, about Otis.
Otis is different because I can tell that's a guy who's still in shape.
Yeah, he's in
Uh,
shape, but
I don't
it
worry about Otis doing 30 minutes on the treadmill. I worry about Barrington Hughes doing 30 minutes on the treadmill.
definitely. I'm just trying to for those that don't know Barrington Hewington or Baron Hewington, like trying to relate, and of course, I'm coming up flat
For
with my
those who were looking for what we're trying to describe, for those who remember Big Daddy
yeah.
Viscera,
I
when
said
he was
Viscera.
on, okay, you said Vis, when he was always a heavy guy, but when he was on WWE ECW, when he was just this big mass of a human being. Yeah, he had agility to him, which was amazing for a guy his size. He still never looked healthy. There was nothing
Yeah,
ever heavy looking about this. Healthy looking about this, and that's what we're talking about here with Barrington Hughes. It doesn't look healthy, but
yeah.
that's a sidetrack to where I was trying
Sorry.
to just. I know I brought it up, but I was just trying to be open and honest about Barrington Hughes. So Barrington Hughes comes out undefeated, and out comes Jacob Fatu, and they start going at it. And all of a sudden, Fatu, I think, rocks him with a headbutt. or something like that, and he goes up, and I swear to God, Jacob Fatu gets up to the top rope and does a corkscrew like leg lariat.
Yeah, I was gonna. I was trying to. There's an actual name for that move, and I can't think of. Um,
But either way, he was backward and then he wasn't. He twisted, hit him with the leg on the top of his head, brought down Barrington Hughes. 1, 2, 3. The match was over inside a minute and 30 seconds. Um, so Barrington Hughes no longer undefeated, and this is what I mean when people say, "Why do undefeated? What is the point of an undefeated streak?" The point of an undefeated streak for any wrestler is to when that guy gets beat, it means something immediately.
the term get to rub.
It's to get the rub for someone so they can either springboard from it or continue on some sort of path they're on. They're clearly building Jacob Fatu into something to challenge potentially Filthy Tom Lawler or whoever is the
That'd be
MLW
interesting.
champion.
That would be very interesting.
That would be a hellacious little match. Um,
And
so
I don't think either one of us are trying to shit on um, heavier wrestlers. Just
no, Barrington Hughes has an aesthetic that I do not think is, I don't want to
uh,
use the word acceptable.
here's a more current example. Braun Strowman is big as fuck. Braun
Hmm.
Strowman is in good health, as far as we
Yes,
know. Like he's
yes,
gonna pass a physical. He's gonna he can run the ropes. He can all the tests that they would require him to go through. But that dude is huge. Not just tall, but he's got girth on him. Or Big Show.
yeah. But the show was also different because he had the Andre stuff and the acromegaly and but yeah,
It's
no.
not just
The
about like
issue,
big
the
people shouldn't
issue,
be wrestling.
right? The issue isn't super heavyweight wrestlers. We've seen it, and we know they can be great. We've seen it. It's that there has to be. I look at him
Just
and
because you're big doesn't mean you should be a wrestler.
just because you're big doesn't mean you should have be booked in a certain way because there's nothing. He just. We're trying to be nice here.
I
I
mean, what are you
know
pushing? 450, 475?
you can kiss my ass, sir. I'm 360, but yeah, I'm heavy. But
You
and
are
I
not 360.
yes, I am. Shut up.
I forgot we're keeping kayfabe a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll break it. Adam Rice is not 360.
Uh. They. But there's just an aesthetic
He's
issue.
360 on some of his takes
Well,
because
yeah.
he'll go from liking somebody to 180 and then back to so he's 360 on some of his
Yes,
takes.
that is absolutely true. So we'll move on because we'll dwell on
Oh,
that forever. Um.
um, AA, what are your thoughts? And again, we have to tread lightly here, but some on the bigger wrestlers, and I'll just say it, and just so it can be said. But you guys know me if you ever listened to me, and if you haven't, I don't mean this in a callous way. Um, but when you're too, I don't want to say fat, but when you're too, it doesn't health it. come where's the line of and this is still like I keep trying to rephrase my question. In your opinion, there's a line of is there a line of the performer's health of they shouldn't be doing this and hey, but we can sell tickets or have a a match or attraction or like shouldn't there be some kind of line there for lack of better phrasing?
Well, I think it all just goes down to how healthy they are. If but there is being too heavy.
And that kind of goes for your opponent as well. Yeah, doesn't it kind of like if you're trying to do this move and your opponent and you're like say three times the size of your opponent and you do this move, even if you do the move correctly, the size different. I don't, guys. Again, I'm gonna. This is gonna be a every 5 minutes thing with me. My brain is if they're healthy, but there needs to be stringent testing, even with independent wrestling of passing like cardiology or cardio testing, heart rate, um, and that to me, and I've taken Rice's thing, and I've made my own little. Some sometimes you're just um not too big, but your size is unhealthy, and it seems like sometimes that seems to be like sweep it under the rug of, but he's big and he can draw this heat and he can be this monster and some more consideration should be put behind of
Yeah, it's just that we've belabored the point at this
yeah,
juncture.
sorry, I'm
So,
so,
so
and I'm gonna blame Matt again because I mean they're stalling and then there's
he's had 2 weeks. Come on. Um, so the main event for the show 2 weeks ago was a semifinal match for the newly created National Openweight Championship for MLW. And the first semifinal match was Alexander Hammerstone, member of the Dynasty, going
yes,
one on one with Gringo Loco.
and this was a straight the championship itself was straight kind of stealing an idea.
It feels like their version of the Never Openweight Championship.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Um, but we'll see how it goes. And this match was it was a bit of a I don't want to say squash, but you kind of knew who was winning coming into it. Uh, just based on, and I'm sorry, there is a difference between Gringo Loco and Alexander Hammerstone. This
Right.
is.
Yeah,
And,
there's
um, it wasn't a bad match. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match. Uh, but it ended when it should have. If you, uh, Alexander Hammerstone won with his finisher, the Nightmare Pendulum. 1, 2, 3. So he moved on, and the other two members of the semifinal were Brian Pillman Jr. of the Hart Foundation and Rich Swann. So at the end of the show 2 weeks ago, there was a big package sitting on the stage in a wrapping paper. And for those who, I know I didn't bring it up at the top of this discussion, but 2 weeks ago, Selena De La Renta was the executive producer of the episode, making her the first female producer of a televised wrestling show. Whether that or not that's kayfabe, I don't know.
We did bring it up, and
We did bring it up a couple weeks ago. We did.
yeah,
You're right. But that's what this episode was. She even had an interview with Sports Illustrated. They did a lot of promotion about it. Um, so they was this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that Mance Warner jumped out of the box.
uh, three. I want to say
Okay,
off the top of my head, three.
yeah. Okay, so I'm getting my shows mixed up. That happened 3 weeks ago. So this week ended with Alexander Hammerstone winning and him cutting a promo, basically saying he's going to win the belt because because he's a better looking guy and that kind of thing. This week, we had show open with the package of what happened last week with um, Sammy Callahan and all that stuff. And also last week, I believe, they're beginning to show dissension between Loki and Selena De La Renta.
What should have
Uh,
happened a while ago, in my opinion. But
that
I,
can
I I say that as obviously a Selena Hard Eyes, and I've said this. I think this went back to last time we talked MLW. I just why is Loki still a thing?
because he's Loki and they need, I guess, I don't know. So this week they kind of went over what happened with her episode, um, the the issues within Promociones, and Selena basically kind of just cut a heel promo saying everything's fine. You
Yeah,
know, did a little bit of cursing in Spanish again. Uh, God, she's sexy when she does that.
sure.
I'm just saying, I can't help it.
You're bringing private conversations into a public
She's a good.
podcast.
All I'm saying is I enjoy myself. Oh wait, shit.
You're making it worse, sir. You're making it
I
worse.
am. I am. This week our opener was this. Did you watch this week, Mox?
The first again last couple weeks. I watched the opener with shit.
Was
Now
it
I
Daga
yeah with Daga.
or was Daga in the second match?
The first match I watched was with Daga. So I don't know if it was the first match or the second match, but
Oh, I remember now. They opened the show with one of the big promoted matches, which was the Southern Psychopath Mance Warner and Sammy Callahan tag teaming against El Hijo de la Park and I'm a bastard.
you really, if you're gonna talk about stuff like this, have to have the card pulled up, sir. But yeah, I didn't catch. I tuned in to catch that match. But when I finally got it to load, I was already on the Daga match.
Yeah, they. Ricky Martinez. I'm a horrible person. It was El Hijo de la Park and Ricky Martinez going on against Mance Warner and um, Sammy Callahan. And the match basically started but never really got started, if you know what I mean. It was a brawl from the get go, a lot of just
Are you saying that Charlotte never made it to her feet? What?
stop it, later, later. Um, Basically a brawl, a lot of punching, and eventually got into the ring, and then it fell back out of the ring. And the winner were Callahan and Warner after Callahan hit his pile driver on Ricky.
I did see that the clip of the pile driver. I don't shout out to TDE underscore wrestling. They had the gif of it. That was a sick looking pile driver.
Didn't look like he got him all the way up, did it?
No, it he kind of like fell into it, but um I don't know if you want to call it the cell part or, but it
Yeah,
looked like
the cell was awesome because it looked like
yes,
Ricky got spiked.
yeah, that was my what I was trying to say of like it looked like he kind of fell into it, but the cell and the he did kind of thing afterwards was
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because of what happened afterward. So they brawl some more. The Warner and Callahan take the Promociones guys to the back. They're brawling, and all of a sudden, out of a side door comes the chairman himself, L.A. Park, and 3-on-2. They beat down Callahan and Warner. Um, Beat the hell out of them, and then Selena cuts
you
another
tried saying
promo.
it. You tried saying it.
I tried. My voice is not equipped. But Selena basically cuts a promo. I think also in Spanish again. A little bit of English, a little bit of Spanglish, basically. Um, it then it basically cut away. What I like about this match, though, what I found was is for those who aren't aware, Jim Cornette does color for MLW.
Yeah, Jim Cornette was yeah, corny doing
He
corny
was.
things.
They basically let him say, "I do not like," even though he's the babyface here. He basically said, "I do not like Sammy Callahan. He hurt one of my friends. I think he's reckless and dangerous. I don't like him." And those are shoot feelings if you've ever heard Corny talk about
Yes,
Sammy
that it,
Callahan.
he straight up. If you're referring to a shoot in this sense, it would it be called a shot? But yeah, he shooted on Callahan because he does not like Sammy at all.
So I'm glad that he kind of got a chance. They're letting Corny do Corny, but what I also like here, and this is a thread going on throughout. Corny's a damn good color commentator. Because Corny does something that you don't hear in modern professional wrestling anymore. He tells you what the move is supposed to do and why it hurts.
I will say this. Sometimes he goes a little to the script, but yeah, for the most part, it's. Dare I throw myself under the bus and like JR mid 90s. Yeah, I hate myself for even making that comparison, but it's
It's not a bad comparison, only in the sense that they're doing the same thing. They're
yeah,
telling
but
you they're telling you what's up. Why a move hurts. Why a guy is working with his left arm instead of his right. Why he's why this style works against this style or not. Because Corny's been around so long, he knows these things.
right. And they tried doing that in WWE, usually with Cole. Sometimes Graves will jump in, but it gets so
It, get,
monotonous, or yeah, they get a
it gets
little
lost. if anyone should be giving that kind of commentary in WWE, it is Corey Graves, because Corey Graves was a wrestler. If
Well,
you know,
yeah. Sorry.
it, to whatever extent you think he was a good wrestler,
He was actually really good. I have to. I just have to give him shit.
well, he's earned it. But um,
One
Corey
last
should.
one last stall moment. Um, what if Corey didn't suffer one of those concussions and we still had? I almost said X Pac. Son of a bitch.
Sir,
What if we still had Neville and Corey Graves as a tag team? That
Neville probably they would have been fun, but I don't think Neville gets the run he did get.
yeah, it was kind of a blessing in disguise for Neville.
Mhm. So we come back after the beatdown, and the second match of the night was Daga, and this is one of the. They did not sell this the way I think they should have upon research, but I wish they would have made a bigger deal about who Daga's opponent was. Because Daga's opponent last week on MLW was Minoru Tanaka.
Tanaka of all people.
And for those who aren't aware of who Minoru Tanaka is, might be one of the best juniors ever.
Yes.
4-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. 5-time former IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. Has won the Junior Heavyweight Championships in the top five Japanese promotions. NJPW, AJPW, Noah. Um,
Too long didn't read. Dude is fucking great.
yes, yes, dude is legit. He one of the best ever, and he's still going at 46.
I mean, not quite Liger yet, but damn, that's
Oh,
a good comparison of using Tanaka with Liger as not just what they've done, but the longevity and yeah.
I mean, he's been around a minute, but the dude is legitimately one of the best. I wish that would have been something they promoted last week. Minoru Tanaka would be here in MLW. They
Yeah,
did say this was his North American debut, which is a lie
well, obviously,
because he wrestled for TNA.
yes.
Um, so he's been on North American television. Uh, but I'm fine with a little bit of stretching the truth because I didn't know. So is what it is. I'm not sure how many people would have known. Uh, and
Only
they got on
real fans, Adam. Only quote unquote
only
real
real
fans.
fans. Yeah.
I'm so
Um,
sick of that shit. But yeah,
um,
when they went reading the recap again, I only saw but sometimes around here you have to listen to things either on mute or very very quietly where nobody else it's not bothering anybody else. But when I found out that nah, he's been in North America before, but it's
mm,
one of those things of you get a pass, like they're just trying
it's
to hype.
it's like if it's one of those situations where if a tree falls in the woods, did you and no one is around, did you hear it?
Yep.
And the answer is always yes, but just whatever. Um, and Daga and Tanaka had a good little match here. I mean, obviously Minoru Tanaka.
It's Daga and Tanaka. Like
Um, a little surprised Tanaka went over, but not disappointed. Um, I know they have a lot of faith in Daga.
but Rice, they're not making new stars out of their talent, Rice.
God, please, would you just put an IV of cyanide right in my arm?
Well, I just any day of the week I'd do that, but that's
Sir,
um I have just a completely I have a message from Morris that he wants to come on VWP real quick. He's listening.
well, if we can get that set up, he is
I
more
don't know
than welcome.
whether to send him a link or just call and have him on speaker where you guys can hear him, and I can hang up if he gets too silly. Um,
Whatever you want to do, given the situation. Um, so I'll let you get that set up however you want to do it. Um,
well, I know AA doesn't want to hear anything from Morris.
way to throw AA under the bus.
Well, Matt's not here, so I had to throw somebody under the bus because last time Matt and Morris had a run in, it was about Morris no longer liking Becky Lynch, and that didn't turn out very well.
Oh, he got a Morris is finally on the right track. It's fine. Um, so however you want to do that
Um,
is obviously
Let me I'll finish this episode real quick, and then I will call and see if you guys can pick them up on speakerphone. If not, I'll send them the link.
okay. So we have the Daga Tanaka match. It was a good match. I recommend it. I actually recommend it if you guys want to watch it. It's really good. Um, and then we
Um,
moved on.
Not and I hate. I'm so sorry. I love you to death. You know that. Um, I recommend MLW as a whole,
Whole.
like just as a whole, because we'll get into this later about the Money in the Bank and cancel my subscription. Not watching and yada yada yada. Um, Seek out MLW. Um, I I think every week we always say seek out Rocky Mountain Pro. Seek out MLW. It's but continue. Sorry.
That's fine. It's absolutely a true statement. And then our main event this week was the other semifinal match for the National Openweight Championship. Um, and I wish they would say National Openweight Championship instead of National Championship when the ring announcer announces it, because when I hear National Championship, I think college. I think college sports.
True.
So
Oh, and trying to. I can't send. I can't do him on speaker because then he can't hear you guys. I'll just send him a link, and when he gets 5 minutes or so, I'll tell him to hang up. So I'm gonna have to send him the link. That just dawned on me. Sorry, but go ahead.
so in this and for those who haven't seen Rich Swan in a while, he looks different. He's shaved his beard. He kind of reminds me of Elijah Burke without the beard. It's weird. But he's also working a heel gimmick where he thinks he is being mistreated based upon his race. It's a very much a very topical gimmick, but they're spinning it because they're cheating, but trying to gain sympathy with the ref. You know, or they're trying to accost the ref for being biased against them, but they're cheating behind his back. So it's a heel gimmick, but they're playing it like a heel with the racial overtone on it. And his opponent was Brian Pillman Jr. And these two had a good little 10, 15-minute match. Um, They continued to work this gimmick where um, Rich Swann doesn't trust the ref to make the correct count. Thinks the ref's counting too slow. He has outside interference, and I never caught the guy who he's working with's name, so I apologize. But he does have a partner. It's causing distractions, those kind of things, and eventually it backfires when Pillman hits Swan with a roll up, I believe, even though I watched it.
Yes.
Um,
Uh,
it was
I know
just a
Pillman wins,
schoolboy,
yeah, um, but I forget how.
but Pillman wins. So they're continuing this feud between the Dynasty and the Hart Foundation in the form of this match.
Real quick to interject, AA, Rice, both of you guys have my number. Can one of you guys send me the Hangouts link so I can text it to him, please? I'm sorry. Again, I'm working on. It feels like you guys are like in 2019, and I'm like trying to do war games in 1984.
That's fine.
Whoever can send me the link through text, not through Facebook or anything, but through my actual number, that'd be great.
Allie, did you want to handle that? Or do you want me to? And is Allie there?
Allie, 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 Oxenfree.
Go ahead and do it because I don't know how to do it.
Oh, that's a good point. I may not know how either. Oh, this could get interesting.
We can keep talking while
Yeah. Let's. That was basically MLW for the last 2 weeks. Um, let's go ahead and just get into Money in the Bank, or do you guys want to get into the Ashley Massaro story?
we that's I know before we went live, that's a story you wanted to um there was things about like the affidavit and stuff, but now after her death, things are becoming official for lack of better, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty disgusting for lack of better.
um
I'm damn it. Go ahead. Um,
um
just all you have to do is copy the link and text it to me.
I know it's not letting me. Sorry, folks, we're live.
No, we're not. There's Morris. Dad, how do you do it? We're getting there, son. We're getting there.
So for those who haven't been keeping up with it, I understand why would you, because it's a very depressing story. Um, Ashley Massaro last week passed away, and it was updated today that it was unfortunately, and there are trigger warnings here. So if you are triggered by the topics of suicide, sexual assault, rape, these kind of things, and these are things that can set you off or put you in a place you don't want to be, we will perfectly understand if you need to mute or um, turn this off. These topics are tough to talk about, but due to the circumstances that are starting to trickle out and the responses that have been given so far, this is still a relevant topic because of how it relates to WWE and importantly, in specifics, Vince McMahon and others in the company. Um, but today it was found released that Ashley Massaro did die from an apparent suicide. Um, she was found in an apartment. She had taken her own life by hanging. She was only 39 years old, as many of you well know. However, over the weekend, the lawyer Christine Kairos, who was the lawyer who um, at the front of the CTE class action lawsuit that was levied against the WWE, that was dismissed. When was that dismissed? Last year?
My years, 97 or 98 or
No, no, no.
97, 2008, 2009.
It wasn't that long. It was just recent. Maybe 2017. It was the CTE lawsuit.
2018.
Yeah. Uh, well, this past weekend, Mr. Kairos took it upon himself to release the full sworn affidavit of Ashley Massaro as it relates to the incident that she had when she went overseas for tribute to the troops in Kuwait. God, it's been 10 years. 10 years or more so ago. And in this affidavit, and I won't get into the gory details, I've read it. It is sickening. It is out there if you wish to read it. But in this sworn affidavit, Miss Massaro recounts her rape and assault at the hands of an unknown U.S. service member. It is graphic, which is why I will not go into it, because we, as many of you have just found out, we do have a child listening.
Yeah,
And
he's not at the moment. We're still trying to figure out how he's going to come on. But as soon as he comes on, like, we're going to have to stop that.
yes. And Mock, speaking of that, I cannot get this link to copy from my phone. I've been standing here talking, trying to do it.
Hold it and then click copy link text. Just hold it. Click on it. Hold it.
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous.
I know. I'm such a hassle.
No, oh, not you, this phone.
What kind of phone you got? One of them iPhone thingies or something, sir?
The S9 from Samsung. Yeah, it doesn't want to. What it wants to do is take me to the um, Google Play, so I can download its
oh.
app.
Oh. Okay,
So,
let's keep talking. I'll figure this out myself.
um, and the affidavit will go on to detail how Miss Massaro was handled in the immediate aftermath of this assault, um, in which the company was informed. Vince McMahon was made aware of what happened, and she alleges that Mr. McMahon told her to keep this incident to herself because he did not want to damage the relationship between the company and the United States military. This she alleged she received no therapy. no help from the company. That then the lawyer, she was pretty much lawyered from the word go. The doctor tried to be helpful, but he only could do so much because of who he had a conflict of interest, being that he was employed by the company. Uh, this situation, and the reason why we're bringing this up is because the affidavit was released. Now, let me be absolutely clear. There are two. I can't believe I'm going to say this in regards to this, but the fact of the remains, just because it was in a sworn affidavit, does that mean it's 100% true? And we are now finding ourselves in a situation that the only people who know what's true are the executives of WWE, the man who committed this act allegedly, and now Ashley Massaro, who is no longer with us. I will say that I absolutely believe Ashley when she says she was raped. Believe the victim, everyone. Up to the moment that it is proven false. If it was false, believe the victim every time. Um, when it comes to the story about the company and their treatment of Ashley Massaro, um, I also have to say that when the CTE lawsuit was thrown out, or at some time beforehand, Ashley Massaro did sign an apology to the company, and saying she's always a part of the family and things along those lines. So we have a written apology and a signed apology from Ashley Massaro, and now we have a sworn affidavit conflicting with the apology, obviously. Uh, the company, according to what I have read, has not been as responsive to requests for information from journalists regarding this matter. They keep referring back to the signed apology from Ashley Massaro as they're to this point saying that this is all the info they're willing to give out. This is a situation that if mainstream media gets a hold of it, and by right they should, because this is a despicable situation every way around it. This is a problem for the company. Personally, it makes me never. If everything here is true, it makes me never want to watch a single second of WWE ever again. Because it is disgusting. Did we get it sorted out?
Did we?
Because
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I'm here. Morris.
I finally figured it out.
You did?
Yes.
Way to go. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I'm doing
so we
good.
will so we will pause our current
Yeah.
conversation, ladies and gentlemen, because it is not for little children, and it is now time for the Morris segment of the show. So Morris, whatever you want to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, the floor is yours. Please.
Turn your TV down just a little bit, though, so we can hear you.
I have to go all the way to our desk. Can you guys wait a minute? I'm gonna go get the remote.
Sure. We can wait on you.
We wait on your
Okay.
we wait on your father enough times.
This is true.
Oh, the shade. The shade.
Did you enjoy those tire tracks going up and down your back there, Mox?
Now I see how it feels.
Well, you threw me under the bus.
I've thrown
And
everybody under the bus from time to time.
I got it turned down finally.
Okay. So I don't want to keep you long. I know it's been a long day, long night. Um, Wrestling related, let's say 5 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about tonight's SmackDown. Is anybody watching it?
Actually, you're the only one watching that. So why don't we get to Money in the Bank or Raw?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can tell us what happened. On anything good happened on SmackDown?
Uh, I don't think so. I'm watching Elias versus Roman Reigns.
Cool,
Wow.
cool,
Wow, they're doing that again? Okay.
And Dad,
sir.
I'm gonna be so glad to see you tomorrow.
I see you first thing in the morning. You know that. Um, okay, then let's just um, put this in a capsule of just a real quick rundown, not match by match, just your overall thoughts on what you liked and didn't like from Money in the Bank.
Hmm. But first of all, I think who won the women's match because I don't remember
Which one?
Which one?
the women's ladder match.
Oh, Bailey. You remember.
Oh yeah, I think that match was kind of
What?
good. It was good.
Can you share your drugs with me if you don't remember that?
I say it's kind of good.
You like the women's matter bat Money in the Bank ladder match?
Yes. And I'm thinking of some other matches. Yeah, the men's was so horrible. I didn't want to watch wrestling anymore. That was so horrible.
With what?
The men's ladder
The
match. That
men?
was yes. It was so horrible at the very end.
What at the very end made it so horrible, son?
The person that nobody likes, Brock Lesnar, came out of freaking nowhere, did nothing but win. I do not like him at all.
I raised you right. I raised you right.
Can't you tell I'm up at 8:52 p.m.?
I know that's why another reason why you can't stay on long because I've also got a I can't stay on long myself. Um,
I might be staying up all night. I don't care.
well then,
I don't know if that's going to work for your father and mother, but okay.
I do not care if I have to go to sleep during my surgery, but I'm still going to sleep. I don't care if I go to sleep at 7:30 in the morning or never go to sleep today, but I'm still gonna stay up.
well you're definitely going to sleep at 5:30 in the morning.
I don't know. Probably I won't. I don't know. No telling with me.
Well, what do you think? Oh no, sir, you're going under anesthesia. You're going to sleep at 5:30 in the morning. What do you think about
I'm going to break in here, guys,
how
real quick. I want to run and use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Hey, Dad. My surgery's actually
sir?
at 7:30. My surgery's at 7:30, so I'm
Ah,
gonna go to sleep at 7:30.
well, I'll be there early. Um,
I'm
so
still
what do you think? You doing okay?
yeah. Somebody's still awake and outside. Somebody's still awake.
I don't know, but you need to get some rest tomorrow. You thought yesterday and today was a long day. Tomorrow's gonna be even longer. I just wanted to since you get brought up a lot, I wanted you to come say hello and and all that, and let you know I love you, and we all love you. Everybody's thinking about you.
I know.
You could like thank you or something, son.
Thank you guys for having me on.
It's always a pleasure, Morris.
Yes.
He says yes, like gracing us with his presence.
Well, he is.
Well, he is. Um. Okay. Last question, and then I'll let you get back to your SmackDown, and I'm sure you're playing games. Um. Bailey winning women's Money in the Bank and cashing in on Charlotte after Charlotte beat Becky. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts about this match was the first part was very easy for Becky to beat, but why would Charlotte come out that early? Because she knew Becky was tired.
Oh, you're going back to when Charlotte came out to begin with. Yeah. Anything else, buddy?
No.
Okay. We'll try maybe next week or something to get you on for a proper. Well, Rice is back now. For a proper sit down talk.
Hmm.
I just wanted you and everyone to hear like you're not in the best place in the world, but you're here and you're still smiling and still like your avatar
Okay, I
says.
am. I am. I know. I know, Dad. You remind me every day.
I know.
Oh God,
Tell you
he's
all the
becoming
time.
a preteen. This is the
I'm
end.
sitting in a chair tonight.
All right. I love you.
Wait.
I'll see you first thing in the morning. I'll see you before you wake up.
Okay.
Okay.
Mom.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye,
Peace.
Morris.
Bye, Morris.
Oh.
He's becoming a preteen. You have no shot.
Dude, I was fucked long ago. Oh, he might be
Too late.
listening. Yeah, he might be listening again.
Um.
Sorry about that,
So
guys. But I
no,
appreciate.
no.
This is why we're all friends. Is I can do that kind of stuff, and it's not like you guys get mad about it. And that I'm sure that's made his night. As you can tell, he's getting kind of tired, and
He's getting kind of belligerent. Might might have to slip him a little something to put him down for the evening.
I think that's why he's belligerent. Is they've slipped him too much.
Um.
For those
So
that didn't comprehend or were like, he's not here with me. Like that was him from his hospital room.
we're gonna get back into the topic at hand because
Yeah.
I think we do want to get to the Money in the Bank for a little bit before we have to end this podcast. Um,
We have
Mox,
stalled long enough that Matt will be here any minute.
Mox, I want to come to you with this, considering the seriousness of the topic and everything. We will also have Ali weigh in. Um, with the reveal of this affidavit and the details inside regarding the incident that happened a few years ago in Kuwait during one of the tribute to the troops, um, does this? We know that the Vince McMahon and this company has a very checkered past when it comes to a lot of things. Am I wrong to think this might be the worst of it all?
Hmm. there's so much stuff that's happened. Where do you begin of a list of the worst things? But yeah, this is definitely damning.
I mean,
This,
if we take this affidavit at its word, and Ashley Massaro at her word, this company was complicit in the active cover-up of a rape, and there's no way you can spin that to be okay.
no.
Allie,
Uh, Go ahead. Let Allie speak.
I'll let you get some your thoughts together there for a sec. Allie, same question. How does this all hit you? These allegations.
It kind it it kind of hits home because I'm a rape survivor myself, and but that was back in a time you never talked about it. So I'm totally
This
against the
is
cover up. It
of
should never.
course.
It should have gone to trial. It should have been out there.
This is it's this is one of those things is that I wish we knew the person who did it so we could justifiably ostracize them from society so they could be
And
put in the place that they need to be. Uh,
just
you
real
not
quick,
only
Morris is no longer listening. He's gone to sleep. So
okay. Um,
the to me, and damn, it's not like I just love cutting you off because you were like mid sentence, but here we are.
no, please.
One of the worst parts, if not the worst part, it's not the first time for either entity. The military covers this shit up all the time,
All
and
the time.
there's allegations, rumors, speculations of WWE does the same.
The United States military currently has an issue with rape and sexual assault among cadets at the military academies and at the boot camps and basic training across the board. This has been
Yeah,
a problem within the United States military for a long time. One of the disturbing facts that Ashley laid out in the affidavit that well, the room where the assault occurred, the door was guarded on the outside by a female soldier. That adds a layer of disgust to me
yeah.
that the female soldiers were in on these things going on.
There's
Oh,
even today, 2019, we're talking like posts like don't ask, don't tell, stuff like that. Um, in a way, and this might sound weird, but hear me out. In wrestling, like if you do this, you lose your position or you're gonna get this or that. Like there, in a way, the military kind of works the same. Like you don't ruffle feathers if you're a
you keep
a,
your mouth
a
shut.
feather ruffler. Yeah, like you and it's just
There, it's clear this woman, and I mean, and I say that I mean Ashley. She, I don't know if she ever saw therapy for the assault. I don't know if she felt sought medical attention for the effects of CTE that I believe she was clearly feeling. We will probably find out in the next few weeks whether or not she had CTE. This situation, I'm sorry, I wish I had a better word for it, but this cover up could be more potentially damaging than anything that this company has gone through.
Yeah, especially
From this,
since it names Vincent Kennedy McMahon
she says
as
she someone who told her to keep her mouth shut.
that. And that goes beyond the word beyond doesn't even do it justice of well, I don't like how he books, or he books like shit, or, like we're well beyond that when it comes to this kind of stuff.
It makes watching the product hard. It makes supporting the product hard because that support lines the pockets of Vince McMahon. And I don't know if that can be done in good conscience uh, for a lot of people anymore. Um,
And yes, you have instances like the Duke lacrosse team and yada yada. I apologize for yada yada. Um,
uh, Etc.
but
Basically, we were saying that there
yeah,
are instances where this kind of thing is proven to be false, and I understand. But like I said at the beginning, and I know you both agree, you believe the victim until you are given a reason why that belief might have been misplaced. No if, ands, or buts to the question. We'll never know, unfortunately. We just simply will never know. Because unfortunately, Ashley is no longer with us due to probably compounding issues of mental health. So, if you, and of course, this is where I need to say if you're suffering from a mental health issue, please go talk to somebody. If you feel the need to take your life because you think you can't handle it, you can. Don't choose a permanent solution to a temporary issue. Call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Call local suicide prevention hotlines. The numbers are everywhere on the internet and available to you at your fingertips. Please get help. We no longer live in a time where you have to lock up those things you're feeling inside that you think the world may not accept. This we live, and no, it may not seem like it by the way the news tells you every day about things being shitty in this time we live in. But I do know with every day that passes, we are becoming more open as a society when it comes to things like mental health. Find the resources. They are there for you. Use them.
And for all
um,
survivors of rape,
the
please, please report it. Don't keep it bottled up inside. I did, and those years that I did, my life was so screwed up until I
It,
came out. Please seek help.
whether in the immediate or soon after, you do not. The laws are there out there for you to find out the what you can and can do when you find yourself in that situation. You don't need to call
it's
the
it's not your fault. Don't blame
first and
yourself because
foremost.
you got raped.
Yes.
The National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. By the way, um, you guys know I've suffered through it, and I'm outspoken about the mental health stuff. As far as being a sexual assault victim of any kind, um, it's not your fault. Don't feel like it's your fault. Um, report it. Report it as soon as you can. Just um, and our society and our justice society, our justice department needs to be um, stricter on those convicted for such things. There's people still serving life in prison weed, for weed, and there's people that get probation for sexual assault.
We
Um,
there is an
that
issue with
that's
them.
that's fucked up, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's an issue within our culture that we have yet to be able to find why certain people believe this that kind of thing is okay. Speaking as a man, first, in this situation, it needs to stop. Men need to hold other men accountable.
Yes.
We have this isn't boys will be
You don't have to
boys.
be vigilante with it. You don't have to go.
We're
That
not
I don't.
asking you to go in guns blazing, but we're asking this you when you see something, do something. Whether it's call the police or get involved in if to stop it if necessary. We're not asking you to put your life in harm's way. We're asking you to do the right thing for another human being.
Basically, just be a good human being.
For some
Like
reason,
it,
that isn't
it, it
I will leave it at this. I hope Ashley finds, as I said the other week when this news broke, I hope she finds the peace she was looking for. And my thoughts are with her teenage daughter, Alexa, who now has to figure out what to do and with life without her mother. Because things were not handled the way they should have been. And this was Ashley's way out, she thought. And that's a crying shame. But we will move
absolutely.
on because this topic is depressing, and rightfully so. But we have to talk about it because these are the things we need to talk about. Because that's what brings awareness and hopefully brings things like this to a stop one day. We will move on to the Money in the Bank pay per view.
Money, 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 money in the bank.
And we will start. There was a pre show match. They did do a little moving around. And this year, the pre show match were Jimmy and Jey Uso against Daniel Bryan and Rowan in a non title tag team match. And by the way, the Money in the Bank pay per view hailed from Hartford, Connecticut. Uh,
Let's go
so,
Whalers. Let's go. Oh, too soon.
wait, don't you mean Hurricanes?
That's why I said too soon.
Yeah, it is too soon for some. Um,
Rock you like a hurricane.
Oh, okay. We can just jam all night.
yeah, we can.
Um,
Um,
but this kind of actually works out. Because Matt should be here shortly, and we're okay.
we're coming up on that final hour. For
It's the
those, we just want
final
everyone to.
countdown.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, sorry. For those who just need to know, we will be doing a hard stop tonight. As you guys heard, Morris is in the hospital prepping for surgery tomorrow. His father needs to be get some sleep and get himself ready. Uh, for that,
You don't have to throw me under the bus. Adam is like basically Stepford wife, and when I turn his button off, he goes to sleep. It's gonna be why the
Oh, I hate you on every conceivable level. All right, so we get to this pre-show match, and because it's a pre-show match, I'm not really going to get into it, despite the people involved. Not because it
oh
wasn't a good
yeah, that
match.
the biggest thing here is Daniel freaking Bryan was on the pre-show.
Yeah, Dana Bryan and the Usos on the pre-show.
Well,
Uh, were
Usos
they?
are kind of just
Well, they're
not
bigger.
disparaging the Usos by any means, but the Usos have been on the pre-show before, because tag teams are not Vince's thing. But Daniel Bryan was on the pre-show. And guess what wasn't on the pre-show?
The Cruiserweight Championship. This match was weird because a couple weeks ago, Bryan and Rowan beat the Usos for the tag belts, and they I
Uh,
apologize. Um, and this,
that's why. Never mind.
sorry, this week they on the. I apologize, everyone. I got some in my throat. Don't
Wonder-
don't anyone say anything. You suck. Oh damn it! I set myself up on that one. Um, for them to turn around at the pre-show to have the Usos then turn around and beat Bryan and Rowan, that's like the most ultimate 50-50 booking I have ever seen.
yeah. Okay. I'll be right back.
Yep.
But keep talking about the pre-show.
Okay. Um, there. Eric Rowan had a good showing in this match. Uh, definitely looked like a bit of a world beater, bit of a monster, so that was a good thing. Allie, am I correct in assuming you did not watch Money in the Bank?
You are correct, sir.
All right, awesome. But I will ask you this. We know that 50-50 booking has been an issue within the company. So why do they keep doing it?
Because they think that's what we want.
Is it because they're too scared to run with something? Like, are they too scared to kind of pick a direction and to go for it with even a basic pre-show match? Like, what would it have hurt to make their tag champions look strong on the pre-show against the team they beat a couple weeks back?
They just don't know how to keep. I don't think they're scared. I just think they're thinking that the audience is just, this is what they want. And they're wrong. It's been this way for a long time. It's when they can't continue a good storyline. They get a storyline going, but they can't write it out. It's the same thing with 50-50 booking. This way they don't have to try to think down the road and go with something. They go, okay, this sounds good this week. A couple weeks later, oh, let's go with this one. See, let's go with this. See how this works. Nah, I don't like it. A couple weeks later, let's switch it back.
Is it because they just want to keep people looking strong? Like they needed Bryan and Rowan to look strong for them to win the tag straps, but they can't let the Usos look weak, quote unquote. So they had to get that win back, even though it was non-title. Is it? Did they just want to make sure everyone is like on the same playing field?
It seems that way, what they're doing.
Because I'm here to tell you that shit don't work.
Oh, they think it does. Or they wouldn't be doing it all the time.
Yeah, that's that goes without said. Um, I know Mox dropped out for a little bit, so and I don't want to move on um, too far without him, but we're moving on.
Moving
Then
right along.
the next match was the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women's championship opportunity. The participants were Bailey, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Ember Moon, Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville, Naomi, Natalia, and Nikki Cross. This match, to put it lightly, ladies and gentlemen, was a clusterfuck. But it was a clusterfuck, I think, with a purpose. And I know that sounds oxymoron, but let me explain. There were segments of this match that, quite frankly, were clunky and did not work. Um, oh, he's back.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're back.
That's your back. God, why does everything have to be a double meaning with you? Are you like paranoid or something?
Paranoid. Oh, sorry, I went all
Sorry.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, you did. Mox, we were just actually getting into the women's and the Money in the Bank match. You know the participants. And I was just getting into the fact that this match was a bit of a clusterfuck.
Oh, this match was. Before we get to the winner ending, oh my goodness, this match was a cluster.
But I'm saying it was a cluster with a purpose.
Explain your purpose.
They had things in that match they wanted to do. They did them. So I can't say it was a total failure, but there were several execution flaws in that match. And plus, I don't.
Several, many, a lot. I guess they're all interchangeable.
Yes. Um.
It, uh, uh, these were the not all, but some, if not majority, of the 8 women in this match should not have been in this match.
Uh. And I know she took offense to this on Twitter. I'm sorry, Natty. You were just there.
Well, Sasha's not there, so somebody has to be "quote unquote" ring general.
Nikki Cross can't.
Not she could, but not in this situation.
Bailey couldn't.
No, Bailey's proven she can't. Bailey can't call.
Naomi.
Maybe.
I understand they needed someone in there to call it, and if it was Natty's job, I understand because you can trust Natty to at least be competent. Um, Thing is, this match, there were just some parts in it where it just wasn't great, and some of it was good. Naomi was, I think, a standout in the match because she's so athletic; she can do just about whatever she wants, and it will look good. I think Nikki Cross had her big shining moment in this match where people really got to see who this person is as a wrestler. In newsflash, she's pretty damn great. Look good too, but that's beside the point. Um,
This match
My,
was just off.
it was off. Yeah, it was like I say, a cluster with a purpose. I think they hit all the notes they wanted to hit. It just that the beat was off, so to speak. Um, the little mini, they worked us in the middle of the match.
Yeah,
They thought they had us think that Naomi hurt Carmella as a shoot.
and let's give credit to Carmella here. Carmella had me thinking it was a shoot.
I thought
Um,
it too because what makes that is Carmella's reaction and Mandy standing there like, what the fuck?
well, because after the that spot, Mandy, did a chop, and Mela basically said, "This isn't fake. Leave me alone." She did say this isn't fake, and then something else, and then Mandy did another little soft chop, and
And
that's when Mela left the ring.
remember, it was the little chop. Mela pushed her. Mandy went back and Mela pushed her harder, and Mandy is there flat-footed, and you can see her go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's
And
where
I was about to go in on Mandy because Mandy looked lost.
well, you can still go in on her, and that's not a sexual innuendo, because Mandy looked lost the entire match. Uh, Mandy looked like we're okay. You take these 8 women, you're gonna do this, and whether they do it individually or as a collective. Uh, okay, here's how the match is gonna go. You do this, you do that. Um, Mandy even like okay. Oh, here comes my spot. I've got to do my spot. Even then, she was like, is this my spot? Am I supposed to? Mandy looked so dazed and confused. It would make all right, all right, all right seem sober.
Um, in
If you don't get
specific,
that,
I did get that reference. There isn't a person alive who didn't get that reference. In specific, what was going on with Carmella? I was gonna say if that was a shoot, Mandy should have grabbed her in a headlock and started talking. You can't be caught flat-footed ever because it makes you look stupid. Um,
it
in
kind
a,
of, and I haven't watched back, but it looked like because they're on either side of the rope, and it looked like Mandy did the chop, and Carmella came back and said, "This isn't fake." Like she was really hurt, and Mandy looked confused. Carmella tried coming back, like trying to get out of the ring or something, and then that's when the soft chop happened of and if there was communication then or whatever. But that first one, Mela was pissed because that was a hard chop, or she was there was words exchanged there that
there was either miscommunication or somebody got motherfucked.
either way,
One of
like
those.
they talked to each other during both those chops. Whatever was said, like that first big chop, and Mela kind of like, I'm trying to get out of the ring. I'm hurt.
Well,
And then she
then
go ahead.
later on, Carmella comes back. She's fine, and it was a work. But Mandy,
Or she just went backstage like it's not a ACL tear. Let's wrap it up. No, no. sorry. I had to do it.
You're the worst. Um, I'm gonna. This is. I'm not shooting here. I'm not talking about Amanda, the person. Mandy Rose is not ready for this moment, even on a work situation. Grab a hold.
Yeah,
That's the first word. The first rule. If you're lost, grab a hold.
right. That's why they exist.
Grab a headlock. Work her on the outside so you can have a conversation.
And
Do
like you're choking her on
something.
the top rope or something in your headlock while you're like, hey, even if you have to ask, even if you're and not incompetent, but like not sure what's going on, like do that. Like A, you okay? B, I forget what was it, what's coming next.
That's and no one's gonna be mad at you if you do that.
And it would be very unnoticeable, more like than what happened.
And it would show that you're learning.
Yes.
Grab a hold, get yourself back on the right track, and then continue with what you're doing. Don't stand there flat footed looking like you're lost. Because you know what happens when you do that? People notice you. And not in a way you want to be noticed.
That's why we're talking about it now. If she would have, if a hold would have been done even at the rope, and like you people forget spots like that just happens. People wrestlers want to check on their wrestlers. It happens. Yeah, that we wouldn't be talking about it unless she did what she did. We wouldn't be talking about it if she the quote unquote whisper. Like the best in the world have forgotten a spot. Like, let's don't kid ourselves. Like, oh shit, what was the next move? Like that's happened.
Yeah. Um, they they went on to have the rest of the match. In the um one of the coolest spots of the match was with Sonya Deville, who between the
Well,
two
it's Sonya Deville. What do you expect?
between the two, Sonya needs to be the one getting this push, not Mandy. And again, I'm not trying to be mean to Amanda Sacamano. I'm talking about Mandy Rose the Workers, so we're clear. But Sonya Deville, literally in this match, had to put her hair up and square up. Um, and she looked like a badass. For the first time on the roster, um,
Raise your hand if you wanted her to do a Samoan drop off the top of the ladder.
I wouldn't have hated it.
Uh, because they've been playing this disconnects, and then they squashed that. But like how she had her in the fireman's carry and got all the way. Like I just wanted her to like kind of look around like, nah, forget it, and just drop backwards. That would have been fantastical.
Um, then Mandy, after she cleaned Sonya, um, the ladder's set up. I forget who set it up. Mandy, God bless it. Why am I doing that?
Brock Lesnar ended up coming out.
Stop! Not that didn't happen yet. Um, Sonya put Mandy on her shoulders and
That's what
literally
I'm saying.
started walking up the ladder.
And then Sasha and Ruby were fighting in the corner.
Stop it! Stop it! No, they did not. Stop confusing the people.
I'm
Um,
not confusing just the people. I'm confusing the whole damn show.
Yep. Um, they and then Sonya sets Mandy up on the wrong above her, and just as they're getting to the briefcase, Bailey basically runs up the ladder, stops, and one of the cool. I'm sorry, this was great. Bailey looks at Sonny and Mandy and goes, basically with just her look, goes, "Bitch, what you think you doing?" It's great. It showed a different side to Bailey just in that moment. Because
But
Bailey didn't do anything except stare them down and then shove them off the ladder. And Bailey grabbed the briefcase, and Bailey is your 2019 Money in the Bank winner. Mox, was Bailey winning the right call?
amongst the 8 that were in it, yeah.
I mean, I know we have other favorites we would
Yeah.
like to see.
Um, Sonya wasn't in the match, so um, the participants. Um, but to me, this is so overshadowed by the missteps and we'll get to it in a little bit. Same thing happened in the men's. This is why I don't like multi-person ladder matches. Uh, how long are you literally going to hold on to the hook that unhooks the briefcase
Hmm.
while you're waiting for somebody to either climb the ladder or push? It's just so like I can suspend disbelief amongst the best of them, but
Yeah.
holy crap, this was bad.
A couple people got up to the top who didn't win. Nikki Cross had her hands on the briefcase. Um,
The swinging spot,
yeah.
like that was that wasn't supposed to happen. Of like you can just tell like oh shit, what do we do now? Because it was just a swing and like
They, yeah, but and what I appreciated here, when those people got up to the top, the crowd reacted every time.
yeah.
So I think the crowd would have been hot for a couple different winners. Uh, but Bailey wins. Allie, Bailey is your Money in the Bank winner. I believe you picked Bailey, did you not? Uh, Allie.
Alley cat.
She's asleep.
Curtis Cole sucks.
What?
I got her.
Welcome back, Allie. Bailey is your 2019 Money in the Bank winner. Was this the right call for you?
No,
Who should have won?
Nikki.
I would have liked it. I probably would have loved it more than I think my initial thought of Bailey winning. I still think I think they went with Bailey for the right reasons,
Sasha.
namely. But Nikki winning would have been different, fun, and it immediately made her matter over the course of these last few months. It seems was she didn't. So I agree with Allie. I think Nikki winning would have been
Yeah.
fantastic.
And then you have the next night on Raw of Nikki winning. Let's just say at this point, just the briefcase of hey, thanks for putting me in the match. and disconnecting herself from Alexa. Hey, thanks for
Yeah.
that.
Although I'm going to say this, I was totally against it beforehand. Alexa and Nikki don't make a bad little pairing.
They don't, but it would have been a good little side storytelling of
Hmm.
Alexa trying to get the briefcase of, hey, I'm the one that put you in the match. You replaced me, yada yada yada, and the struggle of Nikki. Well, do I give her the brief? Like, nope. I won that fair and square. Bye, Alexa. Like that would have also been fun.
Yeah, I think they could have had some fun there, and it looks like they're having fun with it still. So I'm gonna, despite my misgivings beforehand, I'm gonna give Alexa and Nikki a chance
Oh
because it's
yeah,
clear, because it's clear they have some fun stuff planned with it.
yeah.
Um,
It,
but
it's Nikki Cross, and as much as I love Alexa, it's Alexa.
mhm.
Like, yeah, you have uh, two great personalities, and not to get in depth with whatever's going on with Alexa and not being able to, you know, in
Compete.
ring perform. Yeah, yeah, they. I'm here for it.
I think it might be fun at the end of the day. Just a lot of fun.
Well, that's
Uh, that's kind of the point sometimes. Um, the next match after the women's Money in the Bank was supposed to be the United States Championship match between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. And the reason why I say supposed to be is because this match didn't last long. This match didn't last long because Samoa Joe got busted wide open.
in two different places.
Yes.
He got his eye socket and his nose busted open.
And so they had, this match didn't last 2 minutes. Rey Mysterio went over. Rey Mysterio became a Grand Slam champion. Believe it or not, Rey Mysterio had never held the United States Championship in WCW or in WWE up to this point. And this is just another feather in the cap of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Uh,
After the
two, yeah, I was you're going where I was going, so I'll let you.
after the match, in a fit of rage, Samoa Joe beat the shit out of Ray's son Dominic.
After they got Samoa off camera for a little bit to wipe all the blood off, he
Yeah,
came back.
beat the unholy hell out of him. Ray basically beat everyone who wasn't, not Rey Mysterio or Dominic. So and also by rule, Rey Mysterio gets to keep the custody of his son. Um,
That's not even his son, sir.
it looks like Samoa Joe. I'm sorry, it does.
That's Joe's boy, and we all know it.
We don't know how. It's just
Yeah, like technology's come so far. Like physically, like no, but that's it, we're beyond the. Is that Eddie's boy? No, that is
no
Samoa
Samoa
Joe's
Joe's
son.
son. It is. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I do want to give Allie another chance to talk here. Um,
No.
okay, fine. Um, Allie,
Yo,
uh, Rey Mysterio is now a Grand Slam champ.
about frickin'
Uh,
time.
yeah. Are you happy that they finally? I mean, we don't know how long this run's going to last.
Uh,
Um,
uh, Supposedly he separated his shoulder too in the match.
yes, he's reportedly injured, but Rey Mysterio, Grand Slam champ. I mean, we always talk about Ray every once in a while because of just how good he is, but to hear that he's finally has this opportunity now I mean, just your reaction to him being a U.S. champion.
She's watching Criminal Minds.
What?
Watching Criminal Minds.
Actually, I'm trying to get the cat off of me.
How's that going?
Whoa.
It's not going. The cat's being stubborn.
Just your reaction, thoughts on Rey Mysterio becoming a Grand Slam champ.
As I said, it's about frickin' time.
He's one of those where seldom it comes up that I don't already know of, like, so and so should be in the Hall of Fame, and you think, like, aren't they in the Hall of Fame? Like, you would have thought Ray was already a Grand Slam champion.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hmm. And the next match is a match I know our friend Matt would love to talk about.
Is Matt not coming on, or?
Who knows if he's even. Well, guys, in all honesty, since this is a match we know Matt would like to talk about, and we have so much else to get to, and we're coming up in 15 minutes on our hour deadline.
I said 11, sir.
I mean, we can keep going if you want. I know it's only going to be about 10 o'clock your time, but if you want to go to 11, I can't. I have to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you tapped out. You tapped out.
As always.
And yeah, if you guys. Rice. Yeah, if you need to go.
Let's leave Shane McMahon versus The Miz for Matt tomorrow, because I know he'd love to talk about that, and we'll do the rest of the pay-per-view tomorrow. In all honesty,
Yeah, because I know Matt has a rant or two.
yes. And Miss Allie can no longer stand to hear us talk because she's falling asleep.
I am
You.
not. I was just
You.
trying to get a cat off of me. She's 19 years old, so I'm trying to be gentle with her.
And Box needs to suit up for tomorrow. He's actually a doctor. He's going to be doing the actual surgery. No? Okay.
Dr. Mox.
Oh, dear God, that sent a shiver up my spine.
Doc Mock.
So, in my opinion, and then I'll obviously be overruled.
You have one of those?
No.
Shocking.
Shut up. Let's go ahead and call it tonight because
I just got you off of me, cat.
that's what she said.
I was gonna make a similar joke.
So, Miss Allie, would you please take us home?
Well.
Never mind.
Never mind what.
Nothing.
There's no never minds here, sir. State it.
Allie, will you please give... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, I think
Julie
I
is
know.
my best friend in the world. I'm not making that joke.
Oh God, you're making this so much more awkward than it needs to be.
Now you're making me really want to know what it is.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay, well, where can they find you, Rice, before you leave us?
You guys can find me at PWFan01 on the old Twitter machine, and in the daily and the nightly at SB Nation's Pro Wrestling website. As always, thanks for listening. I know we're kind of cutting early, but as Mox led off with at the beginning of the show, he has obligations tomorrow that are much more important than professional wrestling will ever be. So, That's why we're doing this. But
Or
thank
they,
you for
Uh,
listening.
you ain't lay the burden on my feet. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm
I'll
good
say
at passing the buck.
I'll say this much, guys. I'm a trooper for not just flat out canceling and being here and like toot my own horn a little bit of
If you don't, who's gonna?
you some of my bitch. When I get home, I'm gonna smack your mama right in the mouth. I hope you get that reference.
Yes, from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh God, Todd's going. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a gotta go.
Where can they find you, Mox?
Fireman 6809 um, on Twitter. Uh, about it. Where can they find you in SAA?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Lady Rashana. And you can find me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G. And you can find us Violent Wrestling Podcast with a G or without a G. We're out there somewhere.
You know, I'm missing a G, so if anybody wants to spot me,
Sir, the the drugs you use or lose are not of our concern. So
but you gave them to me.
where exactly would the G go in your name? Agdum Rice?
I see now.
Agdum.
Don't overthink it.
Missing a grand.
Oh, then you instantly you go to Todd. Oh, and
Oh
Metal
my
Matt shows up.
God.
Are you shitting me?
Matt, we have a hard deadline tonight. We're actually wrapping up the show.
Nope. That just got extended by an hour.
Okay, I'll go a little bit longer. But we were going to wrap up because you weren't here, and we got to some
Sir,
matches.
what you
Ziggler.
say in the bedroom does not matter on the podcast.
Why would you say that? We were
Because
actually.
Dolph Ziggler.
We actually
no,
haven't
no, no,
covered
no.
SmackDown.
Really. What really happened on SmackDown?
Don't. We'll get into it tomorrow. But since we're talking, we were
No,
talking about money.
no. We're getting into it tonight.
But you're screwing everything up. And who would want to talk about Dolph Ziggler, honestly?
So we're screwing everything up.
Yeah.
Exactly what the Browns coach always says every season, every game.
Shut up. We went early tonight because of the extenuating circumstances that I know you're aware of. But we were actually doing Money in the Bank. We were actually kind of just in the beginning stages of it. So what we'll do is we'll double back here and get your reaction
Sir, a
to.
double back is what you and I do. Sir, we do not.
That wasn't
Personal
even a.
stuff, sir. Personal.
That wasn't even a pun. Why are you making words sound worse than they are?
It's Mox.
Are you? Yeah, good point.
When I come to Ohio, it stays in Ohio.
Well, sir, that's for reasons between you, your dealer, and the Mexican government.
Aren't they all one and the same?
Different podcast. We'll start with the opening match because the pre-show match is inconsequential. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I know you sort of have feelings here on this, Matt,
Sorta.
but leave those feelings to the side and just focus on the match. Bailey wins. What is your reaction to her winning in the match in general?
I mean, it was the best choice to win.
Well, yeah.
It's just too bad they went about it the wrong way.
Listen, later.
We're going to get into it now.
Raise your hand if you all think Matt wanted Becky to be in Money in the Bank too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Why not?
Mhm.
Anybody
Reasons.
Anybody
you know
that would
why.
have passed in against her would have failed anyway. Might as well.
Ah, Lord. Not much to talk about here, but Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe. Any thoughts on the less than 2 minute match that made Rey Mysterio a Grand Slam champion? No? Okay.
I mean, I guess it's not good that Joe could only last 2 minutes.
Well, he was bleeding, sir.
Perfect time. We are sponsored by Bluetooth.com.
Oh, that's what he was setting up for too. I can feel it.
I know. That's why I took the reins on that
And
one.
if you can't feel it, please have your man call Bluetooth.com. Yeah, I
Sir.
did that. I did that.
Sir.
I did that. But the match that we left off of is
So if that's the case, is it Seth or Becky making the call?
you saw the picture, right?
Sir. God. Sir.
It's Becky making the call. Um, Matt, we stopped off at this match because we didn't know if you were coming, but since you're here now, we're going to get into it.
Sir. You can't just keep setting yourself up like that, sir.
You stop listening. Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a steel cage match.
Oh shit!
This match was so boring. It was so boring.
Why do they?
That was time that could have gone to Roman and Elias.
Yeah.
That was time that could have gone to an iconic promo.
Eh.
And it made Miz look like the biggest idiot on God's green earth. How do they expect people to cheer for this man? Why do they expect people to cheer for this man? Exactly.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay, from now on, can we make a rule on cage matches? You can't wear a shirt.
Shane McMahon does not need. Shane McMahon doesn't need to be shirtless or in a cage. So can we stop that entirely?
Can we just stop Shane McMahon in matches? Period.
That would be great.
Yeah. Can he go back to China with his
home? Could he go back home? Just go home, Shane. This match was 13 minutes long. Ew.
Which, in reality, for a steel cage match, quote unquote blood feud,
Is short.
yeah.
That match didn't need a steel cage. That match didn't need to happen.
It went 11 minutes longer than you can.
If nothing else, at least the babyface won.
Oh God. Keep that torch alive there, Matt. The following match was the Cruiserweight Championship match between Tony Nese and Oria Davari.
I'll just backtrack just for a minute. Having Shane go over again, that just stupid.
And there were several. I don't know if it started with this match or the previous match. I forget where it started. The refs had a bad night at Money in the Bank.
The refs and
boy, did they ever!
Oh Lord!
Not yet. Keep it inside.
I almost brought that up earlier.
Are you saying to keep it in a certain clothing, perhaps?
Yes,
Don't,
I almost brought up keep it
don't.
in your pants like
I
an
almost said
hour
it
ago.
too, but yeah. Um, the refs had a bad night all night in Money in the Bank. I half expected them to address it on Raw or SmackDown, and it doesn't sound like they did. So it just means the refs were fucking terrible for no reason.
Or just to give benefit of the doubt, like it might be a longer term story. I know.
Wishful thinking.
Let me find my where's my machete at so I can go
Yeah.
end it now. Because that's not possible. But there might be.
Um.
But what I was gonna say, this wasn't just on the rest because this was basically every match. The performers were off too.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of the night. Yeah. Some of these guys were just off. Um. When it comes to Tony Nese and Rhea Daivari, I appreciate what they went out there and tried to do, but they were in a death spot.
hey, they were on the main
And
show. I was happy for that.
they were on the main card, which I'm happy to see. But the crowd was dead for him. And in all due respect to Tony Nese, he's as bland as dish soap.
Yeah. Oh, sir, have you ever drank dish soap? Some of it's kind of like very potent.
No, no, sir. Only when I cussed in front of my mother, then she put soap in my mouth. Um,
Put your mom on the phone.
but we'll move on to the match. One of the matches. Well, let's just put it like this: the match that began the slow descension of our very own Metal Matt into madness.
Matt, you have the floor.
Not just yet.
Well, the first match was against Lacey Evans, and okay, WWE. Stop trying to make Lacey Evans a thing. It's never going to happen. So just stop it. Stop it right now.
It
Stop it.
could.
Stop. In the name of love, stop.
Before you break my heart.
Now the Browns did that a long time ago.
This is also a factual statement. If they gave her a babyface leaning, it'd work so much better. But
We've had
this,
that conversation.
yeah, but this Lacey Evans character that they've given her, bad, just bad. And also, she's punching above her weight a bit. She's not ready for this. And
Clearly not. This is clearly. Hey, the character's good. The wrestler, not so much.
I wouldn't think the character's even good.
Well, it's not, but I'm trying to look at it at their crazy way of thinking.
um, but Matt, this match wasn't really great, was it?
It wasn't. I mean, Becky tried her best, but
It
just
got better when Becky was allowed to be on offense.
gee, I wonder why that was the case.
Hey, good wrestler can play offense and defense. The Browns wouldn't know anything about that, but
Why?
the rest.
Why is this? Why do they pick on me? Why? Why? Why?
Hell, my Texans are the same. So
Wow, your dog reacted to that. I am.
because I love you and I wanted to give you some sympathy or empathy. Like
So Becky beats Lacey by submission.
meanwhile, Ruby, Sarah,
Liv.
nowhere to be found.
Well,
Lives
Liv
on
is
SmackDown.
watching.
Lives
Liv's
on
watching.
lives on SmackDown. Ruby and
She's on watch
Sarah.
along.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, who could have been in that match besides Lacey Evans?
A whole host of people. But Becky gets out of the ring, clearly thinking she didn't have another. Her next match wasn't coming up,
They even said it on commentary.
and then the music hits. Charlotte Flair comes
And
out
Lacey
looking.
Evans comes back out. Oh yeah, that was Charlotte. My bad.
Oh God. Okay, I know people are going to start saying they're twins, but let's be honest. Charlotte is everything Lacey Evans wishes she was. Um, actually good at her job. Um,
That's debatable.
sir, sir. Um, Charlotte basically skips down to the ring. She's so happy. Tells
And
Becky to get.
what does Lacey do when she comes down to the ring? Skip.
She's not
Just
Lacey.
saying.
Stop it.
Just
Stop it.
saying.
Stop. By the way, the money guns Lacey used, totally stupid. That was one of the stupidest
Yeah.
things.
That,
You're not Kazuchika Okada. Stop it. Kazuchika. I'm sorry, I butchered that. You're not Kazuchika Okada. Stop. Just stop. Stop. So Charlotte gets in the ring, begs Becky to get in, and Charlotte and Becky have a little 6-minute match. And Matt, how'd this one end?
You know what? After I post the nightly, I will give my thoughts, and I'm about to post it right now. What did you guys think of it? Then I will comment.
sir.
We did not have you come here for delayed rants. But in the moment, I will leave it in the moment. I wondered what the hell was going on.
In the
Now,
year 2000.
oh
In the
God.
year 2525.
In the year 3000, not much has changed, but they live underwater.
Oh
Oh,
my
good.
God.
All three of us went three different places.
All right. Wow. That's a thing. So,
Yeah, maybe we should have.
yeah. Yeah. Um, at this point, anytime Charlotte wins, I'm not shocked. I can't be. Because they have shown it is their desire to have her tie and break her father's record. Needlessly. Charlotte could be so much more than just her father's daughter, but they do not let her. And I'm not saying Charlotte should not embrace that and use that as a part of her
They
ring.
shouldn't use it in a story like this, is what you're saying.
They should not continue to make her just her father's daughter. She is more than that. When we hear Ashley talk, we know she's more than that.
Mm.
There's more to this person than just who her father is. But again, this company can't get out of its own way. They feel a need to present her exactly like her father, or as a offshoot of her father.
I was about
They don't.
go ahead.
They don't do that to Impact. Doesn't do that to Tessa.
Are you comparing Tully to Rick?
I'm comparing Horseman to Horseman.
Yeehaw! Oh, sorry.
Rachel Evers is not a carbon copy of her father.
No.
Why is Charlotte this just? It seems like all they want her to do is break Rick's record because of who she is. There's no further thought to it than that. give me a compelling reason, and I'll walk on this journey with you. But if your only reason is this stunted belief that she has to do it because of who she is, that's stupid. And it hurts her.
Don't stop believing. Oh, somebody said Journey, so
Yeah, I know. I know what you were doing.
But who's crying now?
Um,
apparently you.
yeah.
No, no, man. No, man. You see, any way you want it, that's the way it is.
Oh my god. Is he quoting song lyrics?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be
I
clear.
mean, it doesn't have to be this way. We can
Stop.
always go our separate ways.
Stop.
Parentheses, worlds apart.
He even put the parentheses in there. But I also believed coming into this pay-per-view that Becky was not leaving with both belts.
Right.
And this confirmed it. But
And
Matt,
it's
You
a
think?
dumb decision.
I'm going to stand on this island, and I don't know if anybody wants to stay in here with me. No, it wasn't.
I missed the
It was
question.
Are you talking about Gilligan's Island?
not Gilligan's Island.
What
But
island
Matt
are you
said,
standing on? Because I'll probably be
I'm
on there with you.
standing on the island that Becky had to drop one of these belts at
Ab-
the Money in the Bank.
absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely. Becky two belts and Becky champ. That shit was played out. And I said this. Becky shouldn't have been two belts from the
Yeah.
get go. Much less after she won it at WrestleMania. Drop it the very next night, if not the Tuesday after. This was long enough. This was too long.
I'm going to have to agree to disagree on this.
Well, you agreed. That's all that matters.
Becky's spot in history is secured. Held two belts simultaneously. No woman has ever done that.
Paige has a bone to pick with you.
Was she Divas and NXT champion at the same time?
Yes, sir.
Divas Championship doesn't count.
Oh, now we're getting into semantics. She was Divas
Let me say
champion.
this.
She
She
was,
is the first woman to hold two titles on the main roster simultaneously.
oh, see, backtracking on me now.
Well, either way, Becky's spot in history is secured.
Peyton Royce is holding two tag team championships by herself at one time.
Might as well be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Billy is not great. That's what it's supposed to mean.
It means I can throw shade at anybody, not just Rice.
Yes.
You gotta be joking me.
I'm not. But Matt, honestly, your take here, Charlotte becoming a 9-time women's champion.
You want to know my honest opinion on it?
I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't.
You want to know what I really think?
Oh God.
Okay, now he's setting up for something.
Yeah. Now backtrack, Rice. Backtrack. Tell me you're kidding and move on.
I'm kidding.
You know what I think?
Kidding.
What? You want to know what I think? What?
Oh no. No, you can't watch yourself.
Your name is Hugh Morris. What?
Oh no.
Your name is Hugh Morris. What?
Why?
Funny? Is that humorous?
I'm so sorry, everybody. I didn't know this was coming.
Well, you want to know what I think?
What?
What you really think?
Yeah.
Stop.
I
Please,
hate
Matt.
it. I absolutely hated it. And there were so many things wrong with this entire angle.
The biggest thing that Charlotte getting her 9th reign.
One. This match was hyped up as the last match in Charlotte and Becky's rivalry. They had Charlotte win. I'm just going to leave it there and let you think about that. the last match in this big rivalry, and the heel won in the end. Why does that
Charlotte is
sound so familiar?
To be fair, you almost immediately forget about it.
I remember.
that 9 seconds goes by real fast.
They made it so all you remember is that the two baby faces walked out champions.
It doesn't matter. I remember it.
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna say it to you like this: 5 years from now, I'm not gonna remember that Charlotte was
I want to
champion
remember.
for less than
Hashtag
10,
never
5 minutes.
forget.
I just don't. They made it to where Charlotte that reign. Charlotte. Okay, slightly getting. Okay, we're just gonna cut to the chase. After Charlotte wins, Lacey and Charlotte turn to beat up on Becky. Bailey comes down, makes the save. In the commotion of it all, Charlotte went to run at Bailey, and Bailey sidestepped her and ran her headfirst into the turnbuckle. Bailey stood up,
She was on her feet.
looked at the case, thought, ran over, picked it up, stopped, looked at Charlotte. And what I loved about this little moment is that you see Bailey playing out every scenario in her head.
And that's another problem I have with this. Another problem. Why take the title from Becky now? Why? Why?
It needed to happen. The
It needed
biggest
to-
problem out of this is that Charlotte is now a 9-time champ. That's the biggest problem.
Let Becky hold it for another month. Let her hold it until Stomping Grounds. And then do the cash in there. Have Bailey do a heel turn, cash in on Becky, win the SmackDown Women's title. That way, you build a new heel in Bailey, and you have something noteworthy happen at Stomping Grounds, a first ever pay-per-view. But that would have made sense, so I can see why they didn't do it.
What made sense was Becky to drop one of these belts, and I'm going to stick by it.
Because there was still mileage there.
Maybe a little, but not enough to where I say she needs to hold it for another 30 days. Or however many days, 15,
There
20
was
days.
barely enough mileage to make it to the following Monday.
She's shut up, Todd. His name's not even Todd, and I call him it now.
See? That's the influence I have.
It's scary, honestly. Becky being on top of both divisions was choking them out.
Yeah.
Again.
If you don't, Becky having both titles weakens both divisions, and that's just honest truth.
When Ronda was holding Raw hostage, it was unbearable.
Same thing.
See, the difference is that Becky is actually talented.
I'm not saying
you're missing the point. Becky can't be on top of both divisions and have either one of those divisions
mean anything.
Yeah.
Or have any growth.
Yeah. You're Becky 2 belts overshadowed everything else on both brands women's division. And that it was time to put that to an end.
Ideally, they would have been building someone up on both sides.
Yeah,
they only built
what you do during this. You can have more than one women's storyline for each show.
I agree.
Always have to be about the titles.
I agree, but WWE can't seem to do that.
Yeah.
So you're stuck within the rules that you have.
Right.
The rules are the only thing that matters at the current time are the two titles.
And you have one you have one goalpost. We can't move them.
Yeah, and They were building Lacey up on Raw, and I don't know why they didn't do this on SmackDown. They could have given it to someone other than Charlotte. They didn't.
They
These are
should
the
have.
things that they have to play with. But Bailey um, cashes in her opportunity. Ref messes up again.
Uh-uh.
That's another thing. Here's another thing about this. Becky had Charlotte beat. She had an inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. That was a 3 count. I don't care what anyone says. That was a 3 count to me. Becky Lynch is still Becky 2 belts. Mike
Ref.
needs to retire.
Um,
Joker and
uh,
Batman. Well,
regard.
it's time to retire. Feel free to
even
drop
after, even if Charlotte was pinned, um, Bailey still cashes in.
Bailey, the ref rings the bell with an unconscious Charlotte not responding to the referee's call. The whole point is to catch your opponent by surprise, but they have to be
No,
in
they don't.
kayfabe.
No, they don't. Sir, do you not remember a Money in the Bank cash in under like 1,000 chairs?
Was Dean Ambrose on his feet? Was Dean? No. I got the Brock Lesnar chair match all messed up in my head.
Yes, you do.
God, that was awful.
Money in the Bank is a cash in whenever you want to cash in. And goes to the WWE writing of the referee. It doesn't always work that way.
Jimmy Corderas, the former WWE ref, who's on Twitter, at Jimmy Corderas, for those who want to look him up and follow him, he was having a fit all night around how the refs looking looked
and looking
incompetent.
at this graph.
Stop, please, God.
I mean,
This
everyone was picturing a giraffe in their head when they heard that.
Jimmy brought up the point about Charlotte being unresponsive. Jimmy brought up a couple other points about some of the other mistakes the refs made. Jimmy doesn't like it when the refs are made to look stupid. And I have to agree. When you make your officials look stupid, you're hindering your product.
Well, yeah.
They will undoubtedly bring up the fact that Charlotte was unconscious at some point in time. And if they don't, that might also be a bit of a logical fallacy because I can see where she would have a legitimate gripe here in kayfabe.
Well, who is the referee in question?
Mike Chioda.
Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
Just stop it. You're starting to sound like a Browns fan after Bottlegate. Look that up if you don't know what it is.
Got screwed over.
But Bailey is now your SmackDown Women's Champion and the first woman to ever be a Grand Slam champion. Again, her place in history is secured. Say it.
No, go ahead.
The two baby faces come out champions. Charlotte's reign as SmackDown Women's Champion is officially the shortest of all time, taking over Sasha's place in that role. Charlotte also has three.
Charlotte with the SmackDown Women's title. Sasha with the Raw Women's title.
Charlotte also has three of the.
Hole in the logic.
It's a thing. It's just a thing. Charlotte also has 3 of the 5 shortest reigns with the belts. So they clearly just want her to have a number. They don't care about the quality of her reigns, which is kind of a shame considering what they want to do here. But apparently they want Charlotte to reach her dad's record that he had over 25 years of a career.
To be fair, one of Rick's title reigns was when Kevin Nash literally handed him the title.
This is true. And that was the last. But you know what? That was the last one. That was title reign number 16. Um, the 25 years took Rick about that time to win 16 champions. Apparently, they want Charlotte to win it in less than 8. Um, but I'm happy for Bailey. Someone brought up earlier online that I was reading. Basically, since the Royal Rumble, they've kind of gotten Bailey right. They've booked her pretty good.
And it only
They,
took him what, 2 years?
yeah, 2 years to figure out what to do with Bailey, which is pathetic. Um, so yeah,
All
I'm
right,
happy
I
for.
gotta go, guys. Love you
Yep.
all. I'm out. Peace.
Okay.
No, Mox, no.
He has to go, and honestly, I might as well go too because
No.
I got to work in the morning, and we still have a lot to cover for tomorrow with the rest of this pay per view and Raw and SmackDown. So I'm Adam, PW Fan 01, I'm sorry, daily and nightly over at K-Side Seats. Allie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Lady Rashana and on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G.
Metal Man, I know you just got here, and I'm sorry for the abrupt end here, but we'll have plenty of content tomorrow, and you're going to be able to rant more to your heart's content. And maybe we'll let you sing more of Becky's praises.
He can sing more of Becky's praises and the Iconics praises.
Whoa, let's not get carried away.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Raw rating did actually increase, and Becky and the Iconics were in the same segment. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Sir, there was also someone else who, in that hour, who people might
Nobody
have.
about
The
that.
dream, the dream has no memory of that.
Yes.
Metal Mad, I know you just got here, but where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at MadMat15. Hang on in case I say taking on the daily and a nightly, and hopefully this Friday we will be able to do. Actually, no, not this Friday because I will be working, but hopefully maybe Thursday I will be doing a new RAE podcast if I can find a guest on No Mercy 2004.
No Mercy 2004. Yowza.
Yowie wowie, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Micro Machines. We want to thank everyone for listening and for understanding that our podcast had to be moved up tonight due to extenuating circumstances with Mox's family. Uh, we also wish Morris good luck tomorrow
Yes.
for his surgery. You'll get through it, buddy. Just do what the doctors tell you and listen to your parents. That's our time. Miss Allie, please take us out.
Good night, everybody.